Happy Friday, everybody. Let's go over every game happened on February 26th, almost end of February. Thursday night. The first game is the Charlotte Hornets. Damn, they are going on the run as of late. Charlotte Hornets with this win, they're still the 10th seed, but they're right there ninth, and who knows, they can catch up to the 8th or even 7th, only 3 games out. In their last 10 games, they're 7-3. You know, they're beating teams they're supposed to beat. LaMelo, 20 points, great, 8 assists, 3 threes. Right, in the past, for sure, if the Charlotte Hornets were the bottom team in the East, he would have been, lower Markkanen. But they're actually good this year, so that's great. Brandon Miller only 25 minutes, but had 33 points. Oh my God, they just could not miss a three. Shot almost 50%. Knippel, 8'12", 28 points. Great. Diabate, if he's on the waiver wire, I would pick him up. They did play the Pacers, so everybody's line looked pretty good. But he should be getting 30 minutes every night, as long as he's healthy and wasn't a blowout. Miles Bridges had a very quiet game, but he should also be good rest of the way. All the Charlotte Hornets guys are pretty locked in for a big finish. For the Pacers, on the other hand, if you have like Siakam, that's obviously not ideal. They're still playing Andrew Nembhard a lot of minutes, 20 points, 7 assists. But I feel like maybe it's also a matter of time they start resting him. They're giving guys like Potter off the bench 25 minutes, Kobe Brown 25 minutes, Quentin Jackson 30. It's hard to predict their minutes game over game. So the strategy with these Pacer guys is, they have a back-to-back. Definitely stream a lot of these guys. Jarvis Walker, if you want to have him, sure, for some points and rebounds, 16 points, 2 threes, a steal and a block, is solid enough. The next one is the Miami Heat lost to the 76ers. Ben, great game. Versus Embiid. It's not like Embiid can really play defense anymore. 29 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 threes. Not bad at all. Wiggins had 18 points. And, Norman Powell got hurt here. And that means, well, I guess he's only questionable, so we don't really need to make any moves. They started Larson and have Tyler Hero came off the bench. I like Larson, pretty solid fantasy player. So 6 assists, 2 steals and a block, very efficient. So if you wanna, you're looking for numbers across the board, he could be the one. Davion Mitchell, though, on the other hand, it's been tough holding on to him. But matchups in the playoffs, if you need assist, he's still should giving you 5-6 assists. One of the better guys on the waiver wire. So, but he's not really giving you anything else. Maybe some steals, but in the last month, only 0.7 steals. That's also very, very low for him. Tyler Hero, great. Kawhi, where do you really, like, in the playoffs, if you don't need rebounds, I think it's totally fine to just let him go. You just don't know. When everybody's healthy, he just does not get enough minutes. And of course, any game he could pop off, give you 2010, 2015. But yeah, it just less likely when everybody's healthy. For the 76ers, Joel Embiid, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Honestly, as long as he's playing, that's great. He's putting up big numbers in the last month. 4th ranked player, averaging 32 points. Efficiency is great across the board, and he's shooting 10 free throws a game on 85%. So Embiid is, efficiency-wise, he's been great, but not a lot of rebounds, not a lot of defensive stats because he cannot really move out there. Tyrese Maxey, great. My goodness, 5 steals and a block. Tyrese Maxey is the 3rd ranked player in the last month. And yeah, averaging 2.2 steals is insane. With the Embiid around, he's not getting as many points, which is fine if he's averaging 2 steals. I remember a couple years ago, Tyrese Maxey, I didn't really like him because I feel like most of his values are coming from his efficiency, which is kind of unsustainable back then. He was shooting 50%, and he wasn't really getting a lot of steals. But this year, everything, things have definitely changed. VJ Edgecombe just very solid again, 2 steals and block, and just look at the minutes, 39 minutes. They're playing huge minutes. Cal Oubre Jr. is also playing very well. yeah, honestly, how much do they really need Paul George? They're winning games. All right. Moving on to the next game, we have the Atlanta Hawks beat the Washington Wizards 96-126. Well, these two teams, they did a trade. Trae Young did not play here. But the Wizards is a mess. Will Riley somehow played 35 minutes. Anthony Gill somehow played 31, and Leaky Black somehow played 30. I did not know Jalen Hardy on this team. It's hard to have anybody on this team, honestly. But if there's a back-to-back, Kalabali, right, Vukovic started, only played 16 minutes because he had 4 fouls, and Alex Sarr is nowhere to be seen either. Yeah, they're just full tanking. Definitely drop Keontae Georgia at this point. Even when he played 20 minutes. It just, maybe next year NBA does something for these type of behavior. Like, clearly they're not trying to win. But if everything stay the same, that's just a risk. You drafting any Washington Wizards players when we get to the end of the season. Yeah, it sucks, but for the Hawks, Dyson Daniels, big game here. 11, of course, it's versus the Wizards. 11 assists, 5 steals, and block. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was out. He's been very healthy lately, so CJ had a good game versus the Wizards, 25 points. And Okungwu had 11 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. Yeah, trading away Porzingis definitely helps him. And Kuminga, let's just pick him up and ask questions later. 17 points, 9 rebounds, a steal, and a block. Great. Yeah, he should be putting up good numbers on this team. Moving on to the next one, the San Antonio Spurs. They beat Brooklyn. Wasn't really close, but Victor Wembanyama, he's great. This game, 2 steals and 2 blocks. But just offensively, he also had 5 fouls. Offensively, it's hard for him to, because he has such a big impact on defense, and they have a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket. They have De'Aaron Fox, they have Stephon Castle, they have Devin Vassell, who's a great shooter, Dylan Harper. They don't really need Wembanyama to score 30 every night. It might help the team over. I think it helps the team more if Wemby actually just focus his energy on defense, which in fantasy, defense obviously helps, but you also want to see those big numbers like Jokic, 30 points, 15 rebounds, that type of. But he's not doing that. But great free throw, 6 for 6, so still good. Stephon Castle made his free throws. That's good. De'Aaron Fox had 6 assists and 2 steals, but you can see, how low usage. He's just having a super low usage. Only 8 shots, no free throw line. Champagne only actually took 14 shots. Right, he had it going, 26 points, and Devin Vassell hit 4 threes. That's what I'm saying. Like the Spurs, they have a lot of weapons offensively. Like all these guys are knocked down 3-point shooters, and those guys have it going. De'Aaron Fox doesn't really need to do much offensively. Same thing with Wemby. For the Brooklyn Nets, Michael Porter Jr. is still getting big minutes. 14 rebounds and 3 threes is fine. 25 points, but nothing else. I really like Nolan. Pretty quiet game here as well, but still got 30 minutes. Noah Clowney, if you want to stream him, sure. But, these two guys have pretty bad field goals, so you just got to watch out for that. The rest of these guys, Claxton played just 24. He fouled out. Yeah, I'm not really interested in any of the Brooklyn Nets guys for streaming for next week just because it's just hard to predict how many minutes they're going to get. The next game is the Rockets. They beat the Magic. I think KD hit, they were down 19, so a great win for him. KD went off for not 40. Great, 28 shots. Yeah, I guess the Magic game plan is like, sure, KD, just get yours. 10 for 10 from the line, that's great. And Taro Eason, Amen Thompson did not score a lot, but brought the rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, which, you're obviously happy. But again, Amen Thompson is not a guy. Next year, we are not drafting him in the 2nd round or 3rd round. Yeah, we're not doing that. And next year, you're gonna have Fred VanVleet back, and a lot of the games this year, Amen Thompson played 40 minutes because they don't have a point guard. Şengün had an alright game, 16 points, but I think the hype for Şengün is also over. Like, I would not draft him in the second round next year either. Of course, he can break out, but the problem with him is the efficiency. And playing with next to KD and all the other guys, he's just not gonna average 25 points, and he's not gonna get a lot of rebound either, because Jabari Smith is big. Like all these guys are big, they can grab rebounds, and it's not like Şengün is like Andre Drummond who's going for every rebound. So yeah, just the points, rebound, maybe he gets some assist, just not enough to justify his second round. You just, like, for example, this year you're able to get Tyrese Maxey in the second round. You should be going for higher upside guys. But we'll see what happens next year. Where Şengün ends up, but he does have, in fantasy, just because he can do everything. Sometimes you feel like, yeah, but when you talk about first, second round player, the efficiency really comes into play as well. If you're not an efficient player, it just takes a lot more to be a first or second round player. Like, you really, really need to give a lot of counting numbers. For the Magic, Anthony Black is still struggling, but let's continue to hold on to him. I think he's gonna start putting up numbers. Rockets is a tough matchup. Desmond Bane, on the other hand, continues to play super well. 30 points, 4 assists, and 2 steals, 6 threes. Yeah, Bane is playing well at the right time. He's actually just insane in the last month, 7th ranked player. Of course, if your league still had traded, you can try to sell him. But yeah, great stuff. He's playing well at the right time. So but for next year, let's say he have a super strong finish, top 20, top 30 in the last month. Don't draft him super early, because Wagner comes back, he's the third option on this team. Wendell Carter Jr. had 16 points, all right, and Banchero had 9 assists is great, but just look at the efficiency. He's getting drafted in the third round. Efficiency matters a lot in category leagues. You kind of need to pound free throws with him. The next game is the Portland Trailblazers. They beat Chicago 120-112. So with Danny Advia out, Jeremy Grant is getting some shots, but he only took 10 shots here. Got to the line 14 times, so got his 27 points. That's great. They started Scoot Henderson and Jrue Holiday together. If you want some assists and 3 points, if you want to stream Scoot Henderson, that's okay. He does have the upside, right? He's starting now, but once guys come back, drop him. You just never know versus some easy matchups. Chicago is an easy matchup, but he didn't play that well. And they did not have Donovan Killigan. So Robert Williams is able to play 22 minutes off the bench immediately. Big game. 2 steals and 4 blocks, 14 rebounds. Somebody to pay attention to if Donovan misses another game. Just give Robert Williams 20 to 25 minutes. He's going to give you 3 steals and 3 blocks, playing with a lot of energy. Great fantasy player. Chris Murray started at the center, didn't really do much, so that's a little bit disappointing. And Toumani Camara, 16 points is fine, but not a lot of defensive stats. For Chicago, yeah, they've been starting Yabusele, so if you want some numbers, you could definitely stream him. And Josh Giddey, my goodness, very disappointing. Another guy I think disappointed this year, going so high in the draft. 15 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, looks okay for a top 50 player, for a 4th round player, not for a 2nd round player. And next year, I don't think anything really is going to change. They have so many guards on this team. Matas is having, Matas is having a great month. One game he popped off for a bunch of blocks. He's kind of like, just a 76 round player, but averaging 1.8 blocks, 17 points and 3 threes is also okay. His efficiency is a little bit, that's what's holding him back, 6'9" from the free throw line. But in terms of counting numbers, top 50 player in the last month. Just 1.8 blocks for a forward is very, very good. A lot of, like, Rudy is only blocking 1.5 shots. So, great stuff from him. Moving on to the next game, we have 4 more games to talk about. The next game is the Kings. They beat the Mavericks. Okay, the Mavericks, I They feel like a lot of people predicted they're just gonna punt the season away, right? Get rid of. They did get rid of AD. Kyrie, they're probably gonna get rid of. Actually, I don't know. But Maxim Renard is a guy that it's a must roster. 31 minutes here, 22 points, 6 rebounds. Let's have him. And Clifford started, played 39 minutes. Yeah, if you want to have him, Devin Carter as well. If these guys are starting, because DeRozan and Russell Westbrook, they're probably gonna come back next game. But if everybody's out, like stream these guys. But I would say Renard should have pretty good minutes. And oh my goodness, Precious Achiuwa, 29 points, 12 rebounds. He's also another guy that we could definitely stream. It would have been better. DeRozan, I guess he played, but yeah, they're tanking. So, Renard is a guy I think they want to give minutes. Clifford too, right? Those are the two young guys. But of course, young players versus some bad matchups, they're really gonna struggle. For Dallas Mavericks, Marvin Bagley, I think. As long as he's starting, he has some value. Pretty consistent when it comes to getting double doubles. Najee Marshall absolutely went off. 42 minutes, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. You don't see that very often, but they're also tanking. So let's roster him. And same thing with Chris Middleton. Cooper Flag has been out a couple games. Somebody needs to play the minutes, take the shots. I like Najee Marshall. I like Chris Middleton, and I also like Marvin Bagley. So those are the 3 guys we want to roster. Christie is a little bit disappointing here. Played just 27 minutes, had 8 points, and oh my goodness, Klay Thompson is still on this team. Klay should honestly, I don't know, is his contract over next year? Whatever, he should go back to the Warriors. I feel like that's only right. He's also a role player on this team anyway. So yeah, just go back. That feels right. The next game is the Lakers. While things are looking bad in for the Lakers. They are 5-5. They lost 3 straight, and they got all their guys back. Austin Reeves just hard to find. Playing next to Luka and LeBron, it's just hard for him to find his spot. 14 point. Yeah, it's Luka is hurt. This guy can definitely pop. Can definitely top 20 player, top 25. Luka had a great one, 41 points, 6 threes, but just not enough to get the win. LeBron was a +5. Also, with Luka and Reeves healthy, don't expect LeBron to average 25 points, right? He's going to give you 18, 19 points. And, maybe LeBron would miss a few games. That would help Austin Reeves. DeAndre Ayton, my God, horrible, to -24. Yeah, if you can't find success playing next to Luka, because Luka will find you if you open. A lot of pick and roll situations. You should be able to get a lot of easy dunks, easy layups. So he's just not very engaged. What are you going to do? Meanwhile, like Jackson Hayes is a +16. So DeAndre Ayton is obviously more talented. Like he's way better offensively than Hayes. But the problem is you have LeBron, you have Luka, you have Austin Reeves. We don't need you to get buckets. So it's just the skill set is, we don't need you to do all that. We just need to play defense and grab rebounds. So Ayton is kind of a headache, to be honest. And Smart, I can see JJ loves to play smart. If you're a coach, everybody loves playing, these defensive-minded players. So if you need assists and steals and threes, you can definitely stream him. Phoenix, they got the win when they had nobody. I guess they have Jalen Green, but he sucks. He honestly sucks. 9 points. A -2. Yeah. Meanwhile, Colin Gillespie playing well again. I think he's a must roster until Devin Booker comes back. 21 points, 6 threes is amazing. Grayson Allen must roster. He's a -14, but had 28 points and 6 threes. Devin Booker should be back within maybe next week. So yeah, definitely have Allen before then. Mark Williams. 4 fouls in 30 minutes. Another guy, like super talented, just not putting up any numbers. 10 rebounds in 30 minutes is impressive though. And Royce O'Neal hit a game winner. Royce O'Neal, Ryan Down in the short term, we could also roster them. And also Ogodaro played 34 minutes. I like him a lot. Pretty solid player. But most nights, like Mark Williams is getting bulk of the minutes. So if there's a back-to-back, maybe somebody we could stream. The next team is the New Orleans Pelicans. Ooh, they beat the Jazz. No surprise because they're both trying to lose. But oh my goodness, Sadiq Bey. If you're trying to tank, maybe don't give Sadiq Bey the keys. 42 points, 5 threes. This is a tanking contest for sure. I'm really impressed with Zion. He has played a lot of games. 4 steals and a block is great. So I'm happy with that. They keep starting DeAndre Jordan. And Derrick Queen, I think it's okay to drop. He's now coming off the bench playing 20 minutes. Even when he's starting, a lot of times he's not really doing much. Of course, if there's a back-to-back, you could stream him. But he's no longer a must roster. Dejounte Murray, he's putting up some numbers, but of course this game is versus the Jazz. Plays just 25 minutes, and he probably have a minute restriction. He's gonna miss a bunch of back-to-backs. But of course, if he's on the waiver wire, you gotta pick him up. I just don't think he's gonna be very, very good rest of the way, and they really have nothing to play for. Herbert Jones had 3 steals, but DeJounte Murray can put up numbers for sure. For the Jazz, yeah, Lauri Markkanen. If you're in the playoffs and you don't have an IR spot or you need an IR spot, it's okay to drop. I think so. Yeah, this is time because even when he does come back, he's gonna play 25 minutes. He's not playing 35, so don't look at him as a top 20 player anymore. That's the early season Lauri Markkanen. Now it's more like a top 60, 70 type of player. He can go for 30 every once in a while, but it's gonna be very hard playing just 25 minutes, and he's gonna miss it. He's gonna miss 2 weeks. So if you have an IR spot and you want to put him in there, fine. Keontae George is still out, so Isaiah Collier is a guy that we want to have. But even then, he plays just 27 minutes, and John Conchar plays 26. Maybe we could stream him if he starts next game. And what's interesting is like Filipowski. You would think they're gonna give him 35 minutes, but no, only 18 minutes. But we need to roster him. Ace Bailey came back, 22 points. This Jazz team, man, they're not even shy about it. They just out there and tanking. So maybe NBA come up with something. The next game is the Timberwolves. They beat the Clippers without Kawhi. They put up a fight, the Clippers. Anthony Edwards, 31 points, great game. 1 steal, 5 assists with two threes. Dante had 4 threes. Just very consistent, giving you the 4 threes and 2 steals. Added 4 assists as well. Randall really, really struggled here. 1 for 10. I think other than the first month, Randall has not been good. But consider you drafted him pretty late. I think I'm happy, and he's still gonna play the rest of the way, so can't complain too much about Randall's production. Rudy only took 1 shot, but give you 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. I'll take that. Jaden McDaniels also had 3 steals and 12 points. Jaden McDaniel has been pretty good in the last month. For Clippers, Benedict Mathurin is a must roster. Congratulations if you somehow had him after he got traded. He should be playing a lot and have a lot of usage. 14 points here, struggled, but yeah. Chris Dunn, 7 assists. He also definitely can be rostered for assists and steals, and Brook Lopez had 2 steals and 8 points. I would also roster Brook Lopez because they're gonna have to give him minutes, and the blocks upside is always there. All right, and they actually give Bogdanovic some minutes this game. Kawhi should be back. I don't think he's gonna be out for too long. So that's it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.